Welcome back, everyone. Next up, we have Bergio International Inc. It trades on the OTC Pink sheets under the symbol BRGO and was established in 1995. And for over 25 years, the Bergio brand has been one of the most coveted brands of fine jewelry and is associated with high quality, handcrafted, and individually designed pieces with European sensibility, Italian craftsmanship, and a bold flair for the unexpected. Please welcome its CEO, Berge Abajian. Welcome, Berge.
Thank you for having me back, Anna. Appreciate it.
All right, the floor is yours.
Anna, thank you for having me back. I know I got a call last week saying that a lot of people want to talk to me, ask me questions. I'm very much open here for any questions that my shareholders want to ask me, and I will clear up any concerns they have and move forward. Just to let everybody know, we had an amazing fourth quarter. The fourth quarter came more than expected. Again, every figure, every numbers, anything I'm giving you is not audited yet. We are going through an audit. So I will give you some rough figures from inside the company. This way you're aware what's going on. We had over a $5 million quarter. It was amazing. So everything went well. Okay, so let's open the floor to everybody and let's start getting the question funneled through. This way I can answer them and get everybody's, happy with my answers. Let's go.
Okay, we have a question from Mary Dunn. Valentine's Day and Mother's Day are seasonally strong in terms of sales. How long before you rush cash flow positive? And could this cash flow be used to repay the note holders or do a stock buyback?
Well, right now, January already started. We're up internally again, internal numbers, over 8% for the month of January from last year. We started February. We're scaling right now for Mother's Day. We had an amazing day yesterday. We had an amazing day with the start of the scaling. Yes, we are. Our goal right now is to turn cash positive, and we are on our way. If we don't see it this quarter, it should be definitely next quarter. But we are squeezing everything we have. Again, we're still on a growth here because we're putting all these companies together. There's logistic part of it. We're gonna move, some certain things to. Last week I was with my executives. I had it on my Twitter. We flew to Pennsylvania. We saw a 28,000 square foot facility that we are looking to acquire. So that's all the acquisition, all the the logistics will go from there, shipping and everything else. Just making that move is going to save us about $200,000 a year. And from Florida, from the logistics side and everything else. Yes, that is my goal right now. I am not in a set of mind right now to think about buying note holder or buying stock back. We're still on the growth. We're still putting these companies together. Again, it's so hard. I want the shareholders to understand one thing. It's hard to have a company that was $600,000 of revenue in 2020 and jump to over $11 million in 2021. I mean, it's a huge jump. The company is very healthy right now. Did we have to take some notes? Yes. I know this. I get this every single day. Do we have to take some notes? Yes. This was disclosed. We told them we're taking notes, but the money came in did not go for waste. We have increased the top line. We increased the bottom line. I mean, the company is over $6 million. I'm looking at rough numbers on the inside now. We have over $6 million. $9 million in assets. And then we have over $6 million in stockholder equity. I mean, the company is healthy and it's going to get healthier as we go on or we move on. We stopped spending money on the integration and the vertically integrated. I mean, I put a press release out 2 weeks ago that outlined what we have achieved in 2021, and that is only with minimal money. I mean, and it's not too much money to buy a $30 million, $40 million companies. It's nothing. So right now we are a company to be dealt with in the jewelry industry. They start knowing, they start feeling us, that we are there and we're scratching the surface. Otherwise, this is where we are right now. I mean, it's very positive coming out of the fourth quarter.
Great. Thank you. Rick Malone says, today we saw the outstanding shares balloon from 1.325 billion to 1.725 billion shares in just 20 days. That represents 30% dilution in a very short time frame. Less than a year ago, on May 4th, the OS was 344 million. When is this dilution going to end, and what share count could this settle in, assuming all the current debt is converted?
Well, just to give you some positive news, Trillium is almost done with their conversions. We're down to almost nothing. We have Power Up is only have 2 more notes left open. And then the JP and the 3A and the 3A Capital, they still have some left. So we have we're down to about $600,000 or $700,000 that amount is owed. We still be over $1.5 million, $1.8 million. So a lot of that has been already turned around. We're not taking any more those, it depends where we come to and where we are moving to. Right now, we're trying to get rid of all these notes, get rid of them and have them converted, or see if we can buy them out. I bought a lot of notes before we start buying these companies. I bought a lot of notes, but right now, my dilemma is, if I have the cash, do I buy the notes or I stay liquid? I remember, to scale online is very, very, very expensive. We spend about 40%, 41% of our revenue online on the ad spends. So there's a lot of decisions that have to be made here to do I stay liquid or I pay my shareholders? Okay, I mean not shareholders, my note holders. So at this point, I need to stay liquid. I need to be able to scale, and I'm a very strong believer that sooner or later this is going to come to an end, which it is coming to an end. Our balance sheet has improved immersively. I mean, if you look at the third quarter, and you're going to see the decay, it's going to be a big difference in the balance sheet. So I know it does hurt. I know it does hurt. I want to tell every shareholder, I know what they feel. I know and today we have a $1.7 million market cap. It's ridiculous on a $6 million stockholder equity. I mean, today, if you take that at 5 times, just take 5 times, public company on average about 10 times, it's $30 million company. So I understand there's a big gap here, but eventually that gap is going to come together. And I'm not 100% focusing on that because I have a big company to run, and I'm not looking at the stock price, and I'm just trying to make it go to a different level. Right now, next Saturday, I'm flying overseas to our factory in Armenia. That was both from our money, from our operation money. So we're trying to do things and buy things, like even if we buy that logistic company, it's going to be from operation. So we keep on growing that company. It's going to be about that company has about $5 to $10 million a year. So there's a lot of decision has to be made. But I really like to stay liquid because it's very difficult when you're not liquid with this side of the company.
All right. Thank you for that clarification. From David Park, he wants to know if you can outline how many toxic convertible note holders are left, their dollar amounts, and a simple outline of their conversion terms.
Well, remember, that is changing daily, okay, because as they convert. So what you're going to see at the year end on decay, on the year end audit, is going to be much different than it is right now. Right now, we're down to 4 note holder. Trillium will be out within a week. I mean, hopefully a week to 10 days, they should be out. No more Trillium as far as that original note is done. And then we still have some money left on the other ones. I mean, Power Up is only about $100,000 left on their notes too. They have 2 notes open. And then the other one's about $300,000. So there's not much left. We have cleaned up the books. And we are, believe it or not, we are running this operation. I want the shareholders to know that we have taken over $1 million in regular loans. We're not using the convertible notes to operate. We've taken over $1 million and we pay them back. Okay, so like for the scale for Christmas, we had to take a $500,000 loan, a regular loan. Okay, that was paid back. We're paying it back. We still own a little bit on it, and we took other money that we take that it's paid. So it's not everything I'm operating on convertible note. This company cannot operate on a lousy $500,000 or $300,000 I mean, we didn't take much loans after that $1.5 million. We took a couple of small ones, and that's it. But now we are getting more conventional loans. That's what we did. We did over $1 million. And my goal is very simple. My goal is that within the first quarter to the second quarter, and once we file the case, is to be able to go to a bank and get a straight line of credit of $2 million or $3 million because we qualify, and make sure that the bank sees that. And once we get that, we'll be even more efficient. But I want shareholders to understand that we're not operating on convertible note. We're not. Okay, we've taken over $1 million that we paid back for our Christmas scale, for our inventory financing, for a lot of things that we've done directly with outside funders, not convertible funders.
Okay. Matt Watts wants to know what you're doing to grow laterally.
What does it mean laterally? Can you explain to us what he means?
Well, if Matt's on there and he wants to explain more, but how are you growing in other directions? Do you have any vertical enhancements?
Oh, yes. We're definitely growing other directions right now. Like this company that we're buying, that we didn't buy yet. I don't want the wrong word to go out. We're in negotiation. They are huge in doing mugs, t-shirts, this, and that gives us a different angle. And that's going to give us a better bottom line for Gear Bubble, sellers. So that's how we're growing. We're growing that way. Also, what we're going to do is I'm in the process as we speak of launching the Bergio Fine, which is going to be a fine bridal line that's going to be launched online. But it's not going to be launched before next year because the process is so long to design over 125 pieces. And there's a lot of element in the website. The positive part is that we're doing everything internally, so we have no issues. But I got delayed again. There's things that get delayed because of the acquisition. The acquisition, I don't want to take my attention off the acquisition because we got to make sure they work together good and everything's rhyming good. Remember, we brought down the ad spend of Aphrodite's from 61 to 60% down to 41%. We added 3 platforms: Walmart, Amazon, and Etsy. I mean, Amazon is becoming a beast in our operation. I mean, last month we did 21% of our sales came from Amazon alone. So we're trying to use the other platforms so we can lower our ad spend, and that's very important for me. So there's a lot of moving element on my table that I have to put together, so at least we become profitable and we become more efficient. So like Gear Bubble did not take off as I like in the fourth quarter because he couldn't launch the jewelry line on time. Remember, we got 1,000 sellers on that platform. So right now we had many executive meetings on this, and we're launching it in April, and that's going to show a big number moving forward. We still did well, but I wanted for him to do another 5 million more, but it didn't work out, so I didn't want to push it and then break it. I wanted to make sure that it comes in right. I'm not worried about the jewelry. I'm not worried about anything else, but the platform has to be ready to launch that new jewelry line. That's what we did.
So Perry C says, we're showing close to 3 million in inventory. Surely we must have some assets that are bankable. Can't the company use its assets to make this note holder go away? Your response?
Well, right now, what do you call I don't know how to explain to you. Okay, we got $3 million. Yes, we have $3 million, and they can go away. Yes, they can go away. But again, to go and get an inventory financing on a $3 million, they're going to finance $1.5 million of it, 50%. Then they're going to charge you $300,000. It's worse than the convertible. Trust me, on the company. It's a lot of stress on the company. So I'm trying to make it less stressful. The whole idea is not to be profitable. That's the bottom line. I am going to go on a conventional side to a bank. Yes, I am going, but I'm going to use my notes. But how long is that going to take? It's going to take 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. It's irregular. It's not like those convertible like we use. I'm not using like we used before, or an outside for they come in right away in 24, 48 hours. They put money in the company. Banks take their time. They got to do their due diligence. They do everything. But I do have good relationship with the bank. I already approached them. So yes, once we get that line in place, and there's any note holder is still open, I would like to buy him out. Yes, I would like to get him out of the way and just trust me, there's $1 million on the book right now on derivative liability, which is it's below the line. It's a stupid below the line. It's an expense of $1 million. Our bottom line should not be 6.3 million, it should be 7.3, because that $1 million of derivative is nothing. It's just expectation of the future. So right now, my point is to go to a conventional bank, be a proper funding with the bank, do a proper funding with a percentage above prime, and move forward. But it's not going to happen in 2 days, because we have to finish our K. We have to finish our year-end filing. So we are on the process with doing that. They already did the observation on the inventory. Everything went through perfectly. So right now we're doing the financials. So we're moving forward. And once I have those documents in hand, then I have to convert those documents from GAAP accounting to regular accounting, because the bank doesn't understand the GAAP accounting, because there's all this derivative of $1 million. They get scared. So we got to explain to them that this is $1 million of derivative that has to be moved out. This is the real picture of this company. And that's how we have to try to sell it to get funded.
Thank you for that. Mike M wants to know, how many Bergio shareholders are there, and what sort of growth have you seen over the past year? And what is the revenue guidance for 2022?
Like right now, before we did the acquisition, we had 3,800 shareholders on record. I'm going to pull a new one. I do that once every year. So I guarantee we got over 5,000 right now. I mean, we got a lot of influx of shareholders came in. I talked to a lot of shareholders. Okay, so yeah, it's got to be over 5,000. But I'll post that on my Twitter once I pull the document. Actually, I'm gonna see my assistant to pull the document out today for us and move forward. The guidance for 2022 is tricky, but I can see us north of $20 million. And if Gear Bubble kicks in as I expect, we should be close to 30 to 35 million. Okay, Gear Bubble it's a big company. But again, there's only one company like it in the space. Okay, so we've taken over the space right now with number 2 or number 1 in that space in Gear Bubble. Okay, so Aphrodite's, we are like number 1, number 2. Again, I believe the philosophy of Jack Walsh, who was my mentor from GE, who passed away. He says when he used to make acquisition, he wanted to be number 1, number 2 in that space, and that's exactly where I'm going with this. It's all. I can give you a better forecast the minute we hit the Mother's Day. Then I'll know, but because by then Gear Bubble will launch its the jewelry line, and they will know where we are. We know where what's the real projection for 2022.
Okay, thank you for that. Jim M wants to know, are you acquisition minded in terms of seeking out brands with existing sales?
Yes, for sure. We're looking at it every day. I had 2 companies that I did not like. This new company I looked at last week. Actually, I was in the middle of the blizzard. I was down in Pennsylvania. And yeah, that company is interesting for us because they fit perfect. Right now, we're not in acquisition like to hop and buy companies, but we want to have the right companies that can join what we have built. I don't want something that does not fit. So right now, this logistic company, it can be an amazing company for us that everything goes there. We can save minimum $200,000 to $300,000 on the bottom line, downsizing our office in Florida. There's no need to do logistics. And if we do that, there's no need to do certain things there. But we are going to save a lot of money on labor and everything else. We will leave our office the way it is in Florida because of we need to leave it whatever we have right now. But if we're going to grow, as I think with Gear Bubble, the office in Florida cannot handle it because they're huge. I mean, they can do 1,000 pieces a day, 2,000 pieces a day just by themselves.
And Peter Adams says, you indicated that Gear Bubble didn't reflect any jewelry sales through that channel. Have jewelry sales started at Gear Bubble? Did we lose these sales, or will the more solid infrastructure allow acceleration of sales? Your response?
Well, remember, he joined us in July, okay? Gear Bubble is a platform, so he had to do the platform to prepare it. Then we till the product came in, to put it together, it was too close to Christmas. I didn't want to launch this in October and then have it's a bust. Because remember, your sellers, if they don't do well, they leave you, they go somewhere else. Okay, these guys are all platform there. We have sellers out of Vietnam. We got sellers out of Europe. I mean, our biggest sellers are out of Vietnam. So we sell a lot out of Vietnam. Vietnam is a big platform for us. But now it gave them enough time to prepare the launch of the jewelry. The jewelry will launch in April or end of March. We'll launch. Also, we're launching a data courses that is very important to teach the sellers how to sell on Amazon, on Etsy. So we have that platform. We're doing very well, and we're going to expand on that. So that's where we're going with Gear Bubble. Gear Bubble will kick in. It kicked in well. I mean, we did about $3 million with Gear Bubble just in the fourth quarter without jewelry. I mean, the company is a big company. Again, it went through transition. When you go into transition and you do an acquisition, all the elements inside get shaken up till you put it in perspective. I mean, it's not easy to bring a $27 million company right away, boom, it's going to work. I mean, even Don Wilson, I mean, it was a very expensive. By the way, our balance sheet, I mean, we spend a lot of money on this acquisition with audits, with attorney fees, it's in hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, I mean, where did the money come from? I mean, come on. I mean, this is logical. What are we doing here? We're not a $50 million company. We're buying a $4 million company. We're at $600,000 that we bought $40 million in revenue. So it's a big shock to the shareholder base. And I do understand that. I want them to understand that I do feel with them. Don't think that I just go on my way. And I do not need the shareholder. And there's so much rubbish platform out there that they should be obsolete because they just say whatever they want to say. When a shareholder, when one of the founder convert, oh, I'm making money. I did not make money. Okay, the money was put in the company for operation, and it's not coming to my pocket. So it's all rubbish talk. They say whatever they want to say because it's a free platform. But the only platform they should believe is my Twitter. And I've been very open on my Twitter. I'm not deleting anything that people are. I don't like to use foul language. I like people to be respectful. But at the same time, I let it be an open platform, people to talk. I hate when they go to a different platform, they start talking the rubbish things, and it doesn't make sense. So that's what it is.
Okay. Thank you for that answer. Laura Hines asks, how are things going with the factory in Armenia? And can you give us an idea of the production capacity?
Well, it's going. I mean, we started in December. We got over 10,000 pieces came out of it. Right now, we just got last week 3,000 pieces. Actually, last Friday, 3,000 pieces were shipped out of the Crown. That factory, now we have another news for my shareholders. That factory is going to produce about 10 to 15,000 pieces a month. But on top of it, we're going to do the logistics for overseas from there. So right now, we do it out of China to ship to Europe. But now we're going to stop that. And we just found out the cost of shipping out of Armenia. If I can get that in place, we will be in full control of this company. There will be no outside sources at all. So that is where we're going with. Right now, we have about a 12,000 square foot facility doing very well. We have about 25 employees, and we're adding as we go slowly, 5 at a time, because we're training the people to do whatever we want them to train. I'm leaving on Saturday for a whole week to do all the logistics and everything else, and I'll be back the following Saturday. So, and then I'll report some things on my Twitter if I see anything feasible for my shareholders to know.
Okay. We have Rick Hines. Can you talk about what you are spending money on and what the money is bringing you as far as a return?
What's the money I'm spending on? I'm spending on money that created over $10 million in revenue. I mean, what kind of question is that? Okay, I didn't take $7 million and put it in my pocket. Okay, this is I spend the money on bringing value to the company. I spend the money to bring bottom line to the company. Today we have $9 million in assets and $6 million stockholder equity. That did not come with spending $50,000. That came from and that did not even come from $1.5 million we got funded in the beginning. That came also from operation. People are not seeing that. A lot of money from operation is being turned around and paying loans down. We took Aphrodite's, had $3.4 million in loans. We're down to 1.7, 1.8. So that $1 million was paid from operation. Okay, so that's very important for the shareholders to know, what did I do with the money? What do I'm supposed to do with the money? I bought revenues. I bought 2 beautiful companies, and we opened a factory in Armenia. We became vertically integrated. We're doing so many things, which is perfect for for a perfect ending. But is the road rough? Yes, we were on rough waters. Now the water is smooth, but I can see the island, but I'm not there yet. But I can see the island. Okay, so that's where I am.
Vicky M wants to know, what role on the cost of products and materials do you see inflation having on your margins?
You know, the advantage we have that Armenia is a favorite nation. So we saved on duty. We saved 4.8% on duty. Armenia right now, the average employee is $200 a month, cheaper than India, cheaper than China. The only difference I see, we have not felt it yet. We only felt it in the American operation because we have to pay more American cost. But on the product itself, the only thing is different is the fluctuation of silver. Otherwise, the labor is the same. Nothing has changed. The rent is the same overseas. Nothing has changed. Istanbul is still the same. So we have not felt that much. No, we have not. Today there's other competition that they go head and head with us. But today they cannot compete with us. There's nobody in this space can compete with Aphrodite's and Gear Bubble and Bergio on the price of the goods. There's nobody can compete, okay? So the only problem we had is we had to bring the ad cost down, which we did. Yesterday we had an amazing day. Our ad cost was down to 35%. It was an amazing day. So we are working on that so we can have more juice. We have to have more meat on the bone so we can become more liquid.
All right. And this might be our last question, maybe two more. Roland Johnson wants to know when your next quarterly is coming out.
I'm going to give him a news that I want to have it filed by the end of February or beginning of March. But I'm going to put a statement out once I got all the consolidated statements presented to the auditor. I'm going to put an updated, unaudited statement to my shareholders. Will be a press release out to shareholders of what we did in revenue, where we did everything, and bottom line and everything else. So it will be presented to them, but that would be non-audited. So, but I'm allowed to do that. So I had to ask my attorney, as long as I disclose it's not audited, and there might be some adjustment here and there, but I don't see much. But usually we have always good audits. We never have too many adjustments. We have great auditors, and they know that we are, do everything by the books.
Ann White wants to know what you're doing to increase distribution.
Well, right now we're all over the world. We are all over the world right now. But if we open Armenia, we're going to go stronger in distribution to Europe. Also, we have increased Amazon. Now we sell Amazon in US and Canada. We're opening UK. We're opening other section of Amazon, which is in Europe. We shipped them the product already. We're opening that channel. Amazon has been amazing. Amazon, I'll be honest with you, if we were ready for Amazon in the fourth quarter because it came out of nowhere, we could have done another $1 million. Because it came out of nowhere. We were not ready. We anticipated certain amount of product. 100,000 pieces, but we sold over 100,000 pieces. So at last week of the year, which is an important piece because they ship overnight, but with Prime, we ran out of product. And that's why, but this year, this will never happen. I'll tell you, last month we did $62,000 on Amazon alone, and that's a slow month. So we're becoming one of the prime. I think this year will be I don't know. I'm not sure, but I don't want between $5 to $7 million will be Amazon alone.
All right. Well, we have lots of questions for you. Let's try to get one more. Bobby R says, are these note holders open to any buyouts now, or are they committed to converting? Is there any clause that allows you to buy them out in your contracts? And Bobby wants to know who to contact to discuss this.
Yes, there's always a buyout, but there's a buyout with penalty. Let's say if you have a $50,000 note, convertible note, their buyout would be $90,000, $100,000. Okay, so there's a buyout. It's 40% of the note, 60% of the note. Depends on the age of the note. Okay, most of them are coming through and getting converted. So I don't know who should you call. I mean, this is these are going through the system and getting converted and getting out. So I believe within 30 days we should be clean, pretty much clean of all these notes. 30 to 45 days, we should be all clean with all these notes. I mean, the stock is reacting good. I mean, the price is not right, but we get a lot of trading on the stock. So that's the whole thing. And then, but the stock should not be at this price. Okay, I should not put my neck out for this. I'm not allowed, but I'm going to say it. This stock does not belong here. Okay, this stock, this market cap should be $15 million. So you figure $15 to $20 million minimum. So we are working that direction. Again, the name on the door is my name. I have more skin in the game than anybody. I am not putting money in my pocket, and I'm just working my butt off to make sure that we can integrate this perfectly right. So this way, within another, listen, we went through the tough time already. We're done with that. Okay, the tough time is put this company together, everything, and we did that already. Okay, so right now we are on the last leg of this. Once this gets over with, I think we're gonna see a big breathing room. Okay, once I put the first press release out and the right press release, I don't put press release out just for the heck of doing it. If something is worthwhile, I'll do it. And there's a lot of them gonna come in nicely, coming down the pike. I can see that, but it has to happen. So I can put that press release out. But I beg everybody, please, do not email me or something, because I don't see my email. Do me a favor, put it on Twitter. I'll answer you when I'm on the plane, when I'm this. I always, sometimes once in a while, I open up, I read. So I only read my Twitter. I don't read iHub. I don't read any of these rubbish. I call them rubbish platforms. I read my own Twitter. I have, and then I read my own people. And just be polite, please. I love, be polite. You can be aggressive. Okay, I don't blame you. It's your money, but be polite. Okay, and I'll answer you back. And I'm always in the forefront. I never hide from anything because everything is black and white.
All right. Well, Berge, we have a lot more questions for you, but we are out of time. So thank you for this great discussion that we had today. And please join us again in the future for some more updates. And we wish you well and safe travels.
Thank you, Anna, for having me again. And thank for every shareholder that believe in Bergio. I'm working hard for you guys. Trust me. Okay.
Great. Awesome, Berge. Thank you so much. Okay, everyone, we are going to take a quick break, but we'll be back at the top of the hour. Join us real soon. We'll be right back.